Liverpool versus everybody. Um, got a lot to say tonight. Got a lot to say tonight. So if you have time, cool. If not, maybe catch it on the rebound. I'm gonna dive right into it. You see the thumbnail. Young girl from the UK. I couldn't even be bothered for too much to remember the parent's name, even her name, and I didn't even want to bring up the young girl's name because she's a young girl. This is straight up poor ghetto parenting. Somewhere in the UK, a young girl recently dressed as Mo Salah, but instead of just putting on the kit, maybe getting an afro and leaving it at that, the mother thought it was okay to airbrush tan or darken the girl's skin. Um, and in America, the whole blackface thing has been something that we've experienced from who knows how long ago. And a lot of folks who aren't black feel that it's okay to blacken their face or darken their skin when it comes to any kind of costume party or Halloween, for the most part. And at this point, it's just all I can do is laugh at it because it's amazing that grown adults here are continuing to do this. And at this point, you're putting your child on view, basically. And this kid has no idea what she's doing. She just, as the mom says, Mo Salah is her idol. I have a few quotes here from her. She says, "I don't think anyone would have been offended. People dress up all the time, change their color." Um, I'm tuning in, Lily. What's up, Freddie? Um, she says, I won't say the child's name, but doesn't understand things like that. Mo Salah is her idol. She's a little girl. What's up, Jason? So, again, she's saying that the child doesn't understand it, but we get that. But you should as an adult. So, why are you allowing your child to do this? Why is it something that you're okay with? She then goes on to say, loads of people thought it was brilliant. Other kids now want to do it. What's up, Mame? So, it seems as though this has gone from kind of an American thing, should be a taboo thing, to the UK. We saw Antoine Griezmann do it. Here lately, there's been a white woman who said that she doesn't understand what the problem is. You know, just so people know, it's a problem. If you're not black, you don't paint your face black or try to darken your skin for a costume. Put the wig on. If it's someone with the fro, wear the fro. Change the hair, maybe, or just pick a different costume. It's terribly offensive, and it's a shame that this day and age people are crying ignorance and they don't know when these things are happening. Anyway, back to football. Spurs, City, atrocious game to me. There were periods of play there where it was decent, it was nice, but neither team really put themselves about. And the time that City did, they didn't capitalize. They had a bunch of chances, but also that pitch was just atrocious. I don't know why anybody's even allowed to play on that pitch. I don't get it. Mame Salah is not even black. That's not the point, man. With the LOL at the end, that's not the point. He's definitely not white. And as a minority or colored person, a non-black person, a non-colored person, to be darkening their skin to look like that person, in my book, it's just not right. Now, again, you're African. Maybe that's not something you grew up with. Maybe that's not an issue or in your community or whatever. And maybe you don't understand. But it's a serious deal, whether he's black or not. Dominic says City were awful. Yeah, Spurs is disappointing, just like against Liverpool, they came for a draw. Yeah, and it's really atrocious, man. When you think about the best managers in the league, for me, I look at Pochettino as being one of those dudes. But I don't know if it's just a lack of getting players in the offseason, him being pissed off with the state of the pitch, why the new stadium isn't built. But they just don't look serious, man. They don't look serious. Mr. World Class Spitball himself, Harry Kane, was ineffective today. And I think the guy who could really, really help him the most, Lucas Moura, had some bits in there. Lamella was decent in some parts, but kind of kept giving the ball away, getting mugged off by the ball. It's just they just don't look good. Dominic said Spurs could have easily won that. Lamella and Kane bottled per usual. Yeah, I think us black folk gotta regulate ourselves too. We do shit that make people think it's acceptable. We don't check suspect behavior anymore. No, that's true, Jason. I couldn't say it in any I couldn't say it any better than that. That's very, very true. At the same token, With that being said, it still does not. In that situation, it never gives a right for a non-black person to do that. But let me stray away from that. I appreciate the people who commented on that. I just wanted to kind of open up with that because I saw it on my way to work, and I was thinking I got to speak on that. You guys, if you've been following this channel long enough, um, it's probably infamous now in a way, infamous to my channel standards. The video I came out with that was talking about Mo Salah's one of his songs that you notice no one sings anymore. And I got a lot of thumbs down, got a lot of nasty comments, got a lot of hate, probably lost some subscribers. You know I don't give a damn. I'm not here for subscribers, I'm not here for likes, I'm not here to be popular. So even opening with this, if there's people who don't like it, speak about it if you want, leave a comment, thumbs down it, dislike it, unfollow, do what you gotta do. I'm gonna talk about topics that I like to talk about. And sometimes they will veer away from football. So there you have it. But the Spurs in City game just didn't live up to what I thought it could be. It looked like both teams just didn't want to score. I mean, City, it was almost like City was being nice with them. They had two chances where Silva's right there on the goal, and instead of shooting it, he gives it off to Sterling. He misses it. Had a chance or two. Other than that, but that pitch again was atrocious. I mean, the way the ball was just bouncing on the pitch with all the different patches from the NFL games, it's just crazy. Jason says Lamella is very dirty. He's been studying at the school of Suarez. Well, I'm gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna talk about that leading up to the Arsenal game. But I want to talk about diving real quick because there's a fine line, in my opinion, about diving and maybe embellishing things. And I think diving for me is what you saw a couple times in this game. One I saw from Lucas Moura, when no one's touching you at all, and you're just diving into the air or falling to the ground. If you're in the box and you're an attacking player and a defender is not sound enough to not touch you, that's his fault. That's being, I think, clever. And I think if there's contact on you keeping you from going forward progress, and you go down, to me that's not a dive. That's the defender not being able to have enough wherewithal to be better at his craft as a defender to stop you. And so he put his hands on you or his foot on you or whatever, and you went down. To me, that's not a dive. So what happened in that Arsenal and Palace game? It's amazing to see how many Arsenal fans are whining and crying about that. Um, at some point, Zaha was going to get at Xhaka. He did it. He got contact in the box. He went down. It's a penalty. I don't care how you look at it. It's a penalty every day, every game. I don't care who the ref is. That should always be a penalty. It's not a soft penalty. It's not Zaha cheating. Arsenal weren't wrongfully done by. I mean, at the end of the day, Lacazette can end up being a heavyweight boxer when he retires from football. This guy literally punched the ball into the path of Aubameyang, but no one's talking about that. We're talking about someone diving that wasn't even a dive. So that's just my opinion about it. We've got players on our team that dive. You know, Mane's done it. Salah has done it from time to time. Coutinho used to do it a lot. So it's all about how you can get it's like in any sport that has fouls. You look at basketball, NBA. If you can embellish a guy touching you, you do it. James Harden does it. Reggie Miller back in the day used to do it. Jordan, Kobe, the best do it. You know what I mean? To get an advantage, and that's just what it is. It's not cheating. It's if I'm trying to do movement, if I'm making a movement and you're stopping me from moving, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna get the ref's attention. And in Zaha's case, rightfully or wrongfully, he feels like he hasn't had enough luck with refs or whatever. People are tugging on him, fouling him. He doesn't get his calls. So at some point in a player's mind, it's like, look, if I don't embellish this a little bit, then I might not get these calls. So to me, it's not cheating, and some of that stuff is not diving. That's just how I look at it. Jason says, if a player sticks his leg out and there's contact, I'm Titanic, bro. Straight up. Yeah, I got you. Mercy, what's up? What's up? How you feeling? So I just want to talk about that real quick, but also just segueing from this City Spurs game because that was just a joke of a game from the pitch to the actual. It was an empty stadium pretty much, and then the play on the field was just atrocious. So this Arsenal Palace game, LeBron be flopping too. Yeah, you do. But that's the thing. I mean, a lot of guys do. But it's not. Again, some of that stuff. Back to football. It's not cheating and it's not a dive. Again, if there's contact, like you said, I'm going down as well. You know, especially a club like Crystal Palace who's fighting to get a point somewhere. You expect them to do that. You know, if you get touched in the box, go down. Simple as that. And so, in that game, the type of game that they were playing, and I got to give a shout out to Haji, man. Roy Hodgson had them. He had a game plan. The game plan was to beat Arsenal up. Be physical, leave an arm in there, a little extra, body check dudes. The guy who hit the two penalties for them, Milijovic, always butcher his name, but you know what I'm talking about. Their captain, the guy in the middle of the park, the midfielder. He had some very interesting moments in that game as far as being physical, intimidating Arsenal players, especially that young kid with the hair, Gunduzi. There was a moment there where Arsenal's moving forward, Gunduzi comes through, receives the ball, and as soon as he lets it go, I mean, this guy Milijovic, whatever his name is, just I mean, you would have thought that was hockey. He straight up just body checked them to the ground. The guy's looking up to the ref. The ref gives continuation, but you're seeing things about some of these teams where you can get at them. Mesut Ozil doesn't like physical contact. If you're physical with him, if you're physical with guys like Gunduzi, a lot of players on their team, you can get at them. And a team like Palace, all due respect, and again, they should be higher in the table than they are. The team that they have, I think Ayu, that started for them, not Andre Ayu, what's his brother's name? Jordan Ayu. He reminded me a bit in that game like of Firmino. Just being very physical, being that kind of focal point at the top, working back. He probably could have got thrown out of the game. I think that's why he got pulled. But, you know, you guys like him, Towson, Zaha, even Koyate coming from the middle of the park. I liked Max Meyer, came off the bench for them. I thought he was really, really good. But Palace are better than what they've been showing and better than their results show. And I think, again, new managers to this league are really, really shocked by that atmosphere at Selhurst Park. To me, it's one of the most underrated atmospheres in the Premier League. And they play really well there. Not all the time, but by and large, especially against bigger teams, better teams, they show some really, really good fight. And they're a better outfit than they get credit for. And so I think partial, it's the manager and his being naive and maybe sleeping on Palace a bit. Jason, we're not mean enough to get at Palace. We're too nice. I don't know if I would say that. I think maybe earlier on, to me, of all the teams that Klopp has had, of all the teams I've seen watching Liverpool over the years, this is probably one of the toughest, maybe meanest sides. I disagree with you slightly there. I think for a while we didn't really look at Liverpool as a mean team, but I think we've kind of got over that hump, and I think I've seen personally a bit more of that bite, tenacity in the squad. But no, again, I think Palace are very underrated, and I think teams really sleep on them, managers as well. And so a lot of teams will go there this season. A lot of the big clubs will go there this season and probably think on paper or when they put their team against the other team, they should be winning. But Palace will give you a good fight. When they're on their day, they give you a good fight, especially at Selhurst Park. Spurs pay for not getting the stadium ready. Yep. Mercy. Will Man City drop enough points for us to overtake them? I can't really concern myself with that. This is a game where you thought they probably could points against a team that you thought they wouldn't drop points again, which is Wolves. All due respect to them. So you never know who's going to come across, who these hopeful drop points will come by, who will give them that, or who will take points from them. But it is what it is, man. We gotta just do our own thing, control our own destiny. Do I think they will? Sure. When it will happen, I have no clue. I don't have a crystal ball, so. But I'm not really worried about that either. I said it before. I was on here. Some of you guys thought Spurs could win. I thought City would beat them. I thought it would be by more, and it probably should have been if they took their chances and they played on an actual football pitch, not somebody's backyard. So, I think again with Arsenal, they just didn't impress me against Palace, and it was 3 games in 6 days, whatever the case may be. I get it, and again, Palace is a good team at home, but there were just certain. I mean, the way Palace were able to get at them, they're nowhere near as potent as Liverpool can be when we're on our game, and so if they were able to do that, I believe we'll have at least that amount of joy in the game, if not more. Thompson, Arsenal strike force is no joke though. Is that accurate though, Michael Thompson? I mean, sure that they have the names. Let me just say this: I don't believe in Lacazette. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't believe in him. I mean, I know he's gotten some goals here and there, but when the going gets tough and the tough gets going, is Lacazette really a guy that people would fear? Because I don't. I really don't. And also Unai Emery, who I respect a great deal, mainly because what he did with Sevilla and how we couldn't beat his team in the final in the Europa League. But some of the decisions he made with some of the starts, some of the subs, were just totally wrong to me. Totally wrong. No news on Naby from my end, Jason. I'll be looking it up online after I get off here, but no news about that. But yeah, I think Arsenal we can get at them for sure. They don't nothing about them fears me. I think if the only way they're going to beat us is if they had Xhaka playing at left back. That's no. There's if you can't find another left back player, then you're going to get smoked from Liverpool. I'm sorry. Bellerin got hurt in that game. I don't know if he's going to be playing. So if they can't bring Maitland-Niles in or I forget the other guy's name, if they try to put Lichtsteiner and Bellerin out there, they have no chance. And they need to play double forwards up top. I don't know why they're putting Aubameyang out left like a Zet by himself up there. Don't get it. And then you got the as I've heard, the Nigerian Messi, Awobi. That's a joke. Awobi's no better than who do we have at Liverpool that went to Bournemouth? Jordan Ibe to me. I mean, people might think I'm crazy from saying that, but Awobi, please. Um, let's see. Like I said, another overrated French player. He is. He is. And I'm so glad we didn't get him. We were in the running. People were talking about him, but I'm so glad we didn't get this dude. Please, man. Marlon, what's up, bro? Spurs had so much chances to beat City. They did, and that's why I only want City was going to beat them. Spurs are not for real this year. They're not. I think Pochettino has taken them to where he can take them. They're just not there. It's just not there. I mean, they had so many chances, man. I mean, City just weren't on their game today. But still, like us, a lot of times they were able to get the win. And that's people like to compare us to City, which I hate people doing. Like, oh, look what City did to this team. Well, look what we did to Spurs. We demolished. It probably could have been more goals, but we beat them 2-1. Now you can say, okay, well they didn't score against City. They had their chances. They didn't get it. But that wasn't really about what City was doing. Spurs had a plethora of chances to get that goal, to get those goals, and win the game, in my opinion. So again, stop comparing us to City. Just because they smash a team and we don't, or vice versa, it means nothing. It means nothing. Um, Nova, what's up? To me, Zaha is the most slept on player in the EPL. He'd be a perfect Money backup. Yeah, but he wouldn't want to play backup. He's not that. I'm sorry, he just wouldn't. I mean, could you get him in as a Shaqiri guy who knows he's got talent and kind of play a role and know he'll be important? I just don't see that. I don't see that. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Leicester opened up Arsenal in the first half. We would definitely have a lot of chances. Leicester. I mean, how long ago did they play Leicester? Um, Edmund Cardiff goal was first goal scored at Anfield. Yeah, since Van Dijk arrived, and it was his touch, which excused it. How ironic what a rock he is. Um, it was his touch, and I again I've talked about Virgil Van Dijk before. The apology was more so to say um, that I came up with afterward. The video I deleted was to say that there were more things that happened before that touch to him, but it was his touch that allowed it to go, and that was disappointing because you want to continue that streak of not conceding goals, but it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, so I didn't want to harp on it too much. But this kind of, I mean, I was listening to a podcast called it. He's very calm, he's very composed, and I think that spills over sometimes. But that also is what makes him so good. So you got to take the good and the bad with Van Dyke. That's just what it is. But like I said, if it was Alberto Moreno, Lovren, or somebody like that, they would have been getting butchered on social media. Marlon, we're gonna have a field day against Arsenal. I agree with that. I really think that Arsenal they don't stand a chance against us. The only chance they do stand is if they play defensive. If they play much like City did, much like Chelsea did, and even then their defense is atrocious. Mustafi, once I don't think he still is, but either he still is or once he was, but whatever. German international. I mean, he loves a good slide. He lives on the ground, and if he does that against Mane and Salah, he'll be yanked at halftime. I just don't see it defensively. The only player that I think really puts himself about is that young bulldog in the middle, Torreira. I mean, yet again, the best player on their team, in my opinion. Gundozi is good, but he's a lightweight. He's soft. He can be rattled. He can be shattered. And I think we'll get to the midfield in a second, but I don't. I mean, I think I was more concerned with teams like Brighton and Cardiff than I was Arsenal, which says a lot. No disrespect, and I don't want to do too much of sleeping on Arsenal or too much trash talk because we know once the game comes, things can be different. You know what I mean? And of course, Arsenal can beat us. Any team in this league can beat us. Any other team can be beat. But from what I saw, um, and what I see in this team, just the heart of this team, I'm not sure Unai Emery can get them to switch like that after probably a disappointing result. And on another day, they might have lost that game. I think the free kick, fine, Jacko, great, whatever. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll have some more in-depth talk about Arsenal, of course, as the week goes on. Um, I do not want Zaha. I kind of agree with that, Marlon. Didn't Van Dijk concede 2 goals against Spurs? Uh, is that accurate? I'm not sure. I know Spurs have gotten more penalties at Anfield than we have in a long time. What's the verdict on Fab starting 11, or do we need to see more? I'm gonna get in that in 1 second, Jason. Quick answer though. I think we've seen enough. I think he starts. I'm sorry. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'll get more into that in a second. But I think we've seen enough to know that okay, I never doubted the money spent or was he a Klopp player and all that. I just thought that he needed to get accustomed, get adjusted, get into the flow of things. And once he did that, I had no worries. And I said it. Go back, look at the videos. Once he starts getting playing time, we'll forget about this whole idea of, oh, he's not playing. Is he good enough? He's too slow. You see what Fab's about. So, and if you don't see it, maybe you're just not watching. Nova. Spurs should have got a point today. Lamella's miss was unforgivable. Eriksson off the bench was appalling. The fact that he came off the bench was appalling. I think he had an injury, or you're just saying what he offered. Yeah, they had so many chances, man. But again, Harry Kane. People keep telling me he's world class. Where is it? Where is he world class in big games? He never steps up. He never steps up. So please stop talking to me about Harry Kane. But Lamella, yeah, that the ball when you see and this is not an excuse. He should finish that. And a top goal scorer finishes it 9 times out of 10. But the field, man, the pitch, and again, I'm not making excuses for him, but the way if you see the slow mo, the way that ball is bubbling and I mean, atrocious that field, atrocious. Let's see. Sorry, man. You guys are leaving a lot of comments. Let me see. My man, Mustafa is probably one of the worst center backs in the league. There's no probably about it. He's definitely one of the worst. He might be top three worst, top three, top four, top five. Marlon says Pochettino has had a striker there past few games. Spurs won't finish in top four. Yeah, yeah, you might be right. You might be right on that. I think Arsenal look better than them so far. Again, we forget this season is still young. We'll see what happens. They are fifth now. You never know. But that's 2 losses now to the top six. So that's I think that's if it's not more than that, I think it's 2 losses. So Marlon says Arsenal struggled against Palace. They did. Palace gave them, and again, the physical part. And I'm not saying that we should go out there and be maybe a bit over the top like they were with their physicalities. Some kind of like cheap shots and nasty play off the ball. But I won't be mad if we did. I don't think that's in Liverpool's makeup necessarily, but I think we do need to. I think whoever starts in the midfield needs to look at the tape on that and see how um, Milivojevic, I cannot say this guy's name. I don't know why. I tried to practice it today before I came on here. But see how he was really physical with them, how Ayu was really physical with them, how Zaha was really physical with them, just muscling them off the ball. And it's all about you got to see what the ref is going to allow. So do that early in the game and see what you can get away with. That I think that's what Palace was doing. I think Roy probably told them, look, be physical with them from the outset, see what the ref's going to allow you to do. If he's allowing it, continue to do it. And that's the best way I think we'll get at them, almost in an intimidation sort of way. But Arsenal, for the longest time, have always been a team that they crumble under physical competition, in my opinion. So, now that they got Torreira, I think that'll change slightly. But I still think it depends on who he plays with. If Jacques is in the midfield, if Ramsey is in the midfield, I think you can still do that, especially if Guendouzi is in the midfield. Um, I'd be more worried about facing Burnley away than I am against Arsenal. Easy win, just wait. Yeah, I don't know about Burnley. They look really terrible this year. After really looking promising under Sean Dyche, they're done. But I get your sentiment, but I don't know if I agree with that. Nova, his crosses were crap. Whose crosses? Marlon, Harry Kane is mediocre. Agree with that. Jason, is it just me or does Virgil van Dijk need to start becoming more of a goal threat from set pieces? No, it's not just you. I hope not. I'm definitely on board with that. And in general, we need to get more goals from set pieces. But a lot of that comes with just the set pieces themselves. They've been horrible over the last few games. I think we started out pretty good. We got a couple goals from set pieces. But yes, Virgil van Dijk needs to open up his account. He almost did it in the last game, was it? It was an inch away from going in the goal. But yeah, we could definitely use that. We could definitely use that. But it could be anybody. It could be Lovren, Matip, whoever starts, Gomez. But yes, it would be nice to see Van Dijk getting a few more goals. I'm not, it would be nice is my thing. It's a bonus. If he's not getting them, but still being a general in the back for us, I wouldn't care too much, but it definitely could hurt us. I mean, could help us. Uh, Arsenal won't do nothing to us. No disrespect, but our defense is far. And that's the thing, Nova. I mean, I think that's what gives me. I mean, I'm again. I've said it before. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this is why I'm so confident. Knowing we can score goals is we know that. The defense. That's why I go into every game when I have my prediction of most times saying whatever to nil. Because I feel like our defense is just that good. That's why I feel like people will say, "Oh, watch out for Arsenal." And I think I've heard a couple podcasts of them saying Arsenal will be our toughest test, the best striking force we've gone against. I don't see that, but that's just me. I don't see that at all. They got some striking talent, yes, but I just don't see it, man. But again, we'll see. We'll see. Kane scored against Barcelona. Okay. Um, Thompson, I don't know why you guys are so disrespectful towards Arsenal. I'm not sure who's being disrespectful, man. I just think when you look at them, and again, you play who you play, but what real serious teams have they looked good against? Somebody tell me. And that's what I'm saying. Like you take a team like Liverpool, we're not just beating weak teams. We're beating good teams. We look good against good teams, world class teams, at least in the world's opinion. So I'm sorry, it's not about being disrespectful in my opinion. I mean, I respect your comment, I respect your opinion of saying that, but maybe you're misreading us. I don't disrespect them, and like I said, I don't want to overdo it too much because once the game comes, anything can happen. From what I'm seeing from them, I don't really see much threat. I mean, sure they have threat, but I just don't. I think once you snatch their heart on that pitch, once you take their food, they don't want to have anything to do with you. Once you're physical with them, and I know each game is different. And so just because Palace did that to them doesn't mean we necessarily will. But my point is I just don't see much from Arsenal that worries me. I don't see that as disrespect. That's just how I see it. Arsenal versus Liverpool historically is always an exciting game. Anything can happen. Not anymore. Not anymore. I don't think it's anything can happen. I think, you used to those 3-3s, 4-3s, but that was when Liverpool's defense wasn't that great. That's what we're forgetting. And that's why it's not about disrespect. It's more about respecting how good this defense is now. It's really about, and that's why I can be so disrespectful or so confident because we're not that team. We're not that team that you look forward to get. Oh man, this is going to be a lot of goals. No, it won't be a lot of goal scoring. And if it is, it'll be one-sided. I'm telling you, man. I just don't see how Arsenal is really going to trouble, especially if they come out to play open. It's not happening. I can't see how that happens. Torreira don't even start. He started the last few games. I thought no, maybe not. I believe he'll start against Liverpool. So Ericsson's crosses. Okay, cool. My bad. Edmund, last two matches between Arsenal and Liverpool at Emirates were 3-3-4. Yeah, well, I think you guys are missing it, man. I don't know why we would think all of a sudden against a team like Arsenal that there would be a bunch of goals. We haven't conceded a bunch of goals in a game this season. The most we've conceded in a game is probably the PSG game. They got two, and that was not in the league. So I don't know why. Again, I think a lot of us are still stuck in the mind frame of what Liverpool was years before. This is a totally different Liverpool side, in all different ways. So I don't know why people can continue to believe that there'll be a lot of goals in this game. But fair enough. We won't be leaking anywhere near that many this time. Yeah, I agree. Marlon, Arsenal 0-2 Liverpool for Arsenal 0-2 for Liverpool for Arsenal. Oh, you're saying okay. You're saying 2-0 or 3-0. Got you. Mercy. I think Arsenal will surprise a lot of people. Yeah, that's fine. I think they've already done that. But again, I think we'll have to just see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Hello, everyone. Hey, Nicole, how you doing? Was really hoping for an equalizer in the series. Yeah, I think we all were. And Spurs let you down again. So, but again, I didn't see anything else but that happening. I thought at the best a draw, but Spurs didn't want that enough, man. Our defense is world class at the moment with Fab as an anchor too. Rock solid. Yeah, agree. That's why I don't think there'll be a lot of points. Marlon says disrespectful. We're calling a spade a spade. We're definitely a better team than them. Totally agree. Dominic, if Arsenal have another bad start to the game, it's game over at halftime. That's what I'm saying. We need to jump on Arsenal quick. And that game, as you say, is always very, very open with a lot of goals. I don't see that this time, but I do see the open some moments, because they have those athletes. They'll have some moments. But again, I don't think they've come across a Liverpool defense like this for a very long time. And I can also see Maybe Gomez coming into that game. I don't want to get too much into the Arsenal game as far as tactics and what I think because I'm gonna do that as the week goes on. You never know about injuries coming up, news and all that. But I can see Gomez coming in again instead of Trent, with Matip or Lovren, probably Lovren, playing in the spot. So we'll see. Let's see what's got. Nicole says I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about Arsenal's form right now. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Like Jose said, football heritage. LOL, Jason Thompson. I hear you guys. It will be a good game for sure. Yeah. What form? Beating bum teams. Lost to the only two good teams they played this year. I mean, I didn't want to say anything because again, that whole bum teams thing. Although that's true, you play who you got to play. Now, if they lost to them, then it would have been like, oh, how you lose? But you got to beat who you're supposed to beat, and they've done that by and large. I think in that stretch, the best team they played may have been Sporting, which was in the Europa League. So, but again, they came across a team at one of the best grounds in football. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. Sellers Park is, from what I can see, is one of the best grounds, one of the best supports, at least in English football. And they should have gotten done, but they didn't. So we'll see. We'll see. Our strikers love playing against Arsenal. They do, especially Firmino. So, yeah, should be happy about that. Forgot about that. Good for us. Yeah, Mane will come up against Bellerin. We should expect an annihilation. Yeah, Bellerin might not even play. Which Arsenal have a lot of. If you've been following their team, Arsenal have a lot of problems as far as fullbacks is concerned. Bellerin might be out after that game. He got an injury, and they brought on Liechtensteiner, whatever his name is, guy who's played with Juventus. Uh, Monreal is out, so it doesn't really matter. None of their fullbacks are really going to be able to keep up with Mane or Salah, to be quite honest. So, again, we'll see how they line up. Um, 3-0 by halftime for you, says Dominic. Okay, I'll take that all day. Jason, I missed the last few streams, but the way Shaq dropped the shoulder for his goal, razor sharp. Oh, that was disgusting. That was just nasty the way he did that, and it reminded me a lot of what Salah did in moments in games last season. But again, Shaqiri is just, man. I've said it before in another stream. He's fallen in love with football again. And Klopp continues to. This is why Klopp will always go down as a great manager. He can never win another trophy in his life. He can never win another final, whatever. He'll go down as probably one of the best managers, discovering talent and working with that. I'm not a guy, you guys know this. I hate to say that someone made another player or we made this player because it's twofold. It's the manager and it's the player's willingness, openness to grow into a good player. So Klopp doesn't make anyone. But if you want to use that word, fine. You saw what he did in Dortmund. Who was Lewandowski before he came to Dortmund? Who was Gundogan before he came to Dortmund? I mean, he has a knack for, I don't know what it is, but he almost has this thing of reassuring these young guys and saying, like, look, I know you weren't doing this, that, and the third here, but you come to Liverpool, you come to Dortmund, you're going to be a beast. And he's doing it again. He's doing it again. And a lot of different squads, Shaqiri could probably be a starter, but he's coming from a Stoke team where all he was asked to do was stay out on the wing, we'll give you the ball, make something happen, put in a curler, score a goal from a set piece, do a trick shot. Not with Liverpool. You're not playing if that's all you can do. You're not playing if that's all you can bring. So Gini Wijnaldum, really? I mean, look how another relegated team by Robertson, another relegated team by. I mean, the guy Klopp is touched. He's touched, man. What we got? Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I wasn't expecting this much. I appreciate it. Who's their left back? The left back in the game against Palace was Granit Xhaka, but I believe it's either who's their left back. I guess Nacho, yeah, Monreal, but he's hurt. Monreal is usually their left back. But Jay said, yes, Selhurst is mad. I can hear them from my crib, crazy loud. Yeah. Dominic, Xhaka at left back. Yeah, let's just not at right back. Mane and Salah. It's lights out. Ben, what's up? I don't know if I've seen you ever or if I have. It's been a while. Nice to have you. Crystal Palace have ultras. If only have ultras. Nicole 3-1. Sure, I take that. If only Liverpool had ultras, yeah. My guy knock wood. When you do that, no trophy talk. I get your point though. Yeah, no, for sure. As I was thinking, saying, I was like, should I really say this? But like you said, you get my point. But yeah, I used to do the stewarding work at Sellers Park. Oh wow, okay. Marlon, I was so happy when Liverpool were playing against Palace. I remember when I was not far from Lalana and Sturridge when they scored against them. I celebrated. My man, Dominic, the past 3 seasons we brought from relegated sides. Yeah. And if people are honest, some of these signings we probably turned our nose up at. What are you doing? But if you follow Klopp, and I keep saying it with this lineup or whatever, you have to come to trust him. Um, and so I can't wait for the game. Arsenal have another game in midweek, I think against Blackpool. And like I said, it kind of almost works out that we're not in that competition anymore. That's a full week. If there are any outstanding injuries, obviously Henderson, probably want to make sure Milner's good. I think that's about it on the injury front. Obviously Ox long term, Ray and Brewster, but whoever's knocked, that gives a bit more time to get back if we need to. Let's talk about midfield though, because I'm curious to know what you guys think about the midfield for Arsenal. Hey, we need to keep an eye out for the young fullback at Palace. Oh, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I've been saying that, man. This dude is a beast. I mean, he's one of their own. He's from Croydon, so I mean that guy is just—he's amazing. He's amazing, and I think Obama a couple times was like, "Wow, this dude is everywhere." I mean, yeah, the guy's amazing. To be that young, to be that confident, that brash, almost cocky with it. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot, man. I like him a lot. Um, but it's a right back, and it's like, do I think Trent's going to be there for years to come. So I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I highly doubt we ever see him in a red shirt. But we'll see. K to return. Not sure on that, Ben. I think everybody wants to know that. I wish I knew. I don't really know. Like I said, with this week off, could he be ready and fit? I don't know. Those injuries are serious, man. And so the injury he has. So I don't know. Yeah, Robinson was an amazing sign. He was. Juan Basaka. Yep. Apparently Palace want Klein. Oh really? Okay. Croydon all day. Jason says. Yeah. Agree. Juan is outstanding. Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast, man. He deserves to be in that team every week. Liverpool has conceded 4 times versus Arsenal, 13 this season in the league. Let's put things perspective. Liverpool has conceded 4 times versus Arsenal's 13. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, yeah. Um, oh, from Brixton. Okay. Dominic says, although I love Keita, I don't think he deserves a starting place at the moment. Oh, well, definitely not. Definitely, not, especially after being injured. No, for sure not. Belgrade. Okay. To me, what I think is going to happen is really what I don't want. If Henderson is fit, I think he goes back to Genie, Hendo, and Milner. Sorry, guys. I'm almost certain that's what he goes back to. Try and trusted guys. Kind of the safe choice, I guess. What I want to see is Fab, Genie, and Shakiri. I want to see that 4-2-3-1 again. Arsenal played a 4-2-3-1. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they did that again, but I kind of feel like for them, it's better for them to have the two up top. So whether it's 4-4-2, 4-4-4-2 diamond, whatever. But I think it'll be Milner, Henderson, and Genie, much to my disappointment. But again, I trust it and believe that we still can get a result there. So our midfielders is stacked. Can't wait to see. Oh man, you and me both, bro. You and me, bro. The more I keep thinking about it, again with a fully strengthened side, the midfield is amazing. And just imagine, because I think Lalana, God bless him, won't be at Liverpool after by next August. So just imagine bringing in even another, top quality midfield, because Klopp will. Anytime we let a midfielder go or anybody go in any position, we usually try to retool in that. Will he do that again? I'm pretty sure. January, be here soon. Are we getting a guy or two in that? I think it'd be just one if we even get anybody. So we'll see. Thompson says, Belgrade have a crazy long walk to the stadium. Marlon, you being from New York, I know you know about Brixton. Brixton is famous around the world. What position does Keita usually play in? I'd say an 8. But he's a central midfielder. I think he can play any of the roles, whether it be an 8, more of an attacking guy, box to box, 6. I think he's that good where he can fit into any position, in my opinion. And we know Klopp buys players who he thinks or knows can do that. Think about all the players that he's bought or that he uses a lot. He usually try to put them in different positions. I think Robertson might be the only guy, and then obviously guys like Van Dijk, Lovren, they're only going to play center back. But most of the guys he uses, he's played them in different positions. You know what I mean? I can't think of one guy he hasn't gotten that hasn't played more than one position. Um, so, let's see. Who you thinking of a Moreno placement? I heard a youth lad, but I have my eye on Mendy from Leon. I think it is. Um, yeah, that would be good. I have to, that's something I really got to think about as far as left backs. I can't say that's a position that I actually seek or look at as far as different players. Aston Villa had a guy a while back that I really liked. He had a really bad injury and then went to I want to say Nice or some team in the French league. I think he is French. I can't think of his name right now. I liked him a lot, but I'd have to really really scout and look around for that. So I'm not sure on that one, but I will look at this guy Mendy from Leon. I hope Ox Pace is unaffected with an injury. Well, listen, I mean, here's the thing. He's had some injuries over his career, and I think we can plan on waiting a pretty long time till we see Ox. Because even when he's back, I think Klopp, knowing Klopp, will really, really take his time with easing him back into the team. So, um, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I don't think his pace will be affected. I think he's still at a young age where he can still. It won't be like a Lalana situation or Sturridge, hopefully, where you can tell their pace is just they're suffering with that. There was a shout someone said about Salah. Seems like Salah is a bit slower. After the injury that he had, which I don't know if that's true. I mean, that's an upper body injury. I don't know why that would affect his legs, but who knows? But obviously, let's hope for the best with Ox. I hope his pace isn't affected too much. Jason says, I realized Klopp likes to play the last season's first 11 against the bigger teams. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty plain to see. And so, again, I would be highly surprised if it's not, obviously if Henderson is fit, if it's not Henderson, Milner, and Genie. That's just what I think. Front three the same. Can't afford to rest any of those guys. Salah and Mane are I, I hesitate to say back on form because I don't even know if that was necessarily an issue. But they're getting the goals, and there was some myth about Salah not wanting to pass to Mane, but I think Salah got an assist to Mane, so I think there's a problem there. I want to see a bit more from Firmino involved. I know he's playing a bit deeper these days, and he's doing other things off the ball that I think a lot of people just miss out on seeing. But definitely want to see him get involved a bit more in the attacking play. Let's see. Genie played center back last season, and the funniest thing Klopp ever done. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He plays guys everywhere. You don't come to Liverpool and say, and Klopp says, so today you're gonna be playing at center back, and you're like, that's not my position, coach. Your position is where he puts you. You're a football player, and that's what Klopp likes. He likes football players. You know what I mean? So if he sees fit for you to play somewhere else, damn it, you're gonna play there. And I like that. I like that. Jason, I remember growing up, all my boys used to make fun of me because Liverpool never had any black players. We glowed up now. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, even guys now, like here in the States, when I talk about who I like, they'll mention that. But I mean, most of our top players are black now, so we definitely switched that around. That kid from Fulham would be my pick for a new left back. So I'm not impressed. I mean, listen, it's his first season in the Prem. There's much more he can grow. I talked about this before, but I don't really see much in him consistently. Or is he a right back? Is he a left back or right back? I think he's left back. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that could be it. Again, Fabinho is not as athletic. Is not as athletic like Hendo, but in terms of technique and intelligence, is unmatched. wait. Let me make sure I'm understanding this, Thompson. Are you saying that Hendo is more athletic than Fabinho? Is that what you just said? Is that what you just said, brother? Did you just say that? Let me know if that's what you're saying, Thompson. Maybe I misread you. Sesame is more of a left wing now. I don't like him defensively. Yeah. You see Mendy's swing. Yeah, I did see that. Lamela can be a bit of a nasty player, and I think that goes unnoticed. And he pushed at his head. I think a lot of people didn't see that, but rightfully so. You don't do that. And it probably was harder than it looked in the slow mo. So I saw Mendy swing. It's a good thing he didn't connect because he, being Mendy, he probably would have missed half the season. But I disagree, Michael. Fab is an engine, too silky the way he switches the ball around. Yeah, again, I love everybody's opinion, but I don't know if I agree with that one. Marlon Navigator is an all-around midfield. Yep, I agree. He does run funny, Hendo. It's funny you say that. He runs funny. Sterling, a lot of guys got an interesting gunk when they run. But yeah, no, I really want to see Fab. I really want to see Genie. I want to see that same midfield that we saw in Red Star. And I think it's good that he's kind of stuttering, stopping, going with Shaq, and that he might not be starting consistently because again, you want to give him moments for sure. But you also he's such a lightning rod, man, and it's like certain games you want to make sure defensively you're set, especially in the midfield. And I think there's a bit of apprehension from Klopp to say, okay, if I'm going to put him in, it's going to help us, but what am I losing out on? What am I losing defensively? What's going to hurt me in that way? So, what's going to hurt the squad in that way? So, look, I'm just as eager to see him more as everyone else. But again, if there's a game where we're struggling to get something, we know he can give us a spark. And so you always got to keep that in mind, I think. Marlon says Fabinho is skillful. Sharp is skillful. Sharp has great movement and interceptions and can pick out solid passes. Yeah. Nova says Fab is way more athletic than Hendo. That's a strange observation. Really? I don't see how you see it any other way, man. I really don't. I mean, Fab is clearly levels above Henderson as far as athleticism. I mean, are we talking about the same thing? I don't really see much that Hendo has over Fab, to be honest. And that's only 2 games of seeing what Fab does. I mean, in 2 games, we've seen Fab do things quite on a higher level than Hendo just in 2 games. The range of passing, the precision on the passing, the breaking up the play. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how anybody can see that Hendo's more athletic, but again, entitled to your opinion. Jason, apparently Alex Ferguson didn't want Hendo because he thought he would have problems with his ankles and feet when he got older because of the way he ran. Wow. Wow. We should have moved for Madison, perfect player to Ben Lalana all four. Yeah, people keep saying that. I'm not moved by Madison. I'm sorry, I'm not moved by him. I mean, he's a good young player. We'll see how his career goes, but I think Leicester is the level and is a squad for him. And I say that not be disrespectful. Leicester has a league title recently, so I'm trying to disrespect them. And again, shout out to the families and everything affected by the tragedy. But I'm not big on Madison. I feel like a lot of Liverpool fans are saying that, and that's cool. But I'll just stay in the minority. No, Mike Thompson. There might be other people who think the same thing. I just don't. I don't see how anyone can think that Henderson, with bad feet and everything, is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how he's more athletic. I mean, maybe if you gave me some examples of why. I mean, you're kind of just saying something and not really giving me anything to go on it, which is fine. But I just don't see how anyone could think he's more athletic. Um, but it is what it is. Get Madison out of here. That's a 2012 Liverpool signing. Yeah, I don't see the Madison thing. I'm not taken by him. I'm really not. I think people are still just almost panic mentally about, oh, we got to get in number 10. Oh, okay, Madison looks good. Let's get him. He'll fit in. Do we know if he'll fit in? Is he going to be able to press? Is his defensive part of the game good? I know you'll say, yeah, we saw him from Leicester. He does it. Leicester press differently. Is he ready to be with that? Is he up to playing the way Klopp and Liverpool play? I mean, we'll never know until we perhaps see it. But I think we should pump the brakes a bit on this number 10 thing. I get it, the people who think we need another Coutinho replacement or Ox replacement until he comes back and all that. Pump the brakes. We're good right now. It's not anything that we've been suffering for necessarily, and we haven't lost in the league still. So until it becomes an issue where it's keeping us from being successful, I don't know why it's such a cry out for that. But we up now. Top players only, my man. Marlon says, nah, keep Lalana, in my opinion. People have to remember he not too late. Came back from injury. Yeah. Again, I mean, I talked about this in depth, and I don't know what people are expecting from Lalana. I really don't. I think he's been fine this time around coming back from injury. Yeah, he's lost some pace. Yeah, he's lost a little bit of guile. What I've seen is a mature player in this time, and he's not doing Cruyff turns just to be doing them. He's just not. And I know a lot of people miss that because they look forward to seeing Lalana do Cruyff turns. But I think he's been fine. He hasn't been amazing, but I'm not expecting that. So, you hold on to Lalana. If there's something else better out there, and I think there will be, I just can't see Lalana staying past or until next August. But if he does, he does, and I wouldn't be terribly disappointed by it. But it would be nice to probably get an upgrade at some point. But right now, while he's with the team, I don't mind it. Let's see. Marlon says, yeah, he hasn't played bad. Look at that diving header. Yeah, he was unlucky with that. We need to keep some players for exactly. You're speaking my language. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, so many. I'm glad I'm not on Twitter anymore. I'm glad I got suspended. I think that was probably a blessing from God that I got suspended and I can't even get back on Twitter. There's no way I can even get on, even if I did another name. They've got it to a point where I'm banned from Twitter for life. I guess I don't know, but again, I listen to podcasts all week. I can't get enough of Liverpool, obviously. And people were saying how when the lineups came out, people were questioning it and how are we going to win this game? We're going to lose to Cardiff. Listen, man, we got to use our squad, and people have been calling out for that. Once with Klopp is doing it, people still complaining. So you can't win for losing sometimes with some of these fans, but it is what it is. I think Lallana is for English player. I don't know what that says. Sorry, bro. I'm also not feeling Madison. I'm still quietly praying for my beloved Nabil Fekir. I know you're tired of me crying for him. No, I'm not, man. I don't mind that at all, Nova. I think a lot of people are. I'm still not sure about the guy. Not his talent, but just his body. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I'm just not. And so, again, I think for Liverpool to pull out of a deal like that, when clearly Klopp wanted him, clearly Klopp saw a vision for him in this team, it's got to mean something. So, me personally, if it happens, cool, and I'll trust the team for doing it. But the fact that it hasn't, to me, that means something. And so I've kind of just let that go. I'm not even really bothered much by Nabil. But again, if we get him, cool. I'll just say the professor, what's up? Our long-term midfield is going to be Keita, Fabinho, and Ox. Think Lallana will go next summer. Yeah, probably so. In January, wow. Jason, question for me: if Salah has 40 goal season again this season, do you see him staying a third year? Whew. Um, these I love these questions, but I also hate them because it's like I don't know, man. Again, I really think it depends on what we win, and I think if we get a trophy this year or trophies this year, then hopefully that's something that guys can say, okay, I'll stay. The other end of that is, okay, I got a trophy with Liverpool. Madrid want me, which Madrid is kind of rebuilding now. I'm not really sure why anybody wanted to go there unless they really saw something special. A manager came and they wanted to go with that project or whatever. But Barcelona or whatever. It probably helps us a bit that Madrid isn't so good right now, and look like they might be in a relegation battle. That's probably saying much. But good question, Jay. I don't know, man. I'll say I hope so. Again, I want guys. Everybody knows I was a big Emery Chan fan. Once he decided to leave, that's it. I don't even think about Emery Chan anymore. So I hope he stays. I hope we sign Mane. But if we don't, we got to leave it up to Klopp in the club to invest and get someone that good or better. So great question. I'll give you a straight answer. I think he stays. Yeah, if he gets 40, if he gets 15, which HH seems to think is what it'll be, I think he'll stay. But it's really about us winning. So Marlon says Madison wouldn't be able to make the step up, in my opinion. I agree. I agree. He smoked City in the Champions League. Fakir, I mean, yeah, he did. He did. Neymar to Madrid next season. Yeah, Neymar. I spoke about this on the. I don't know if you guys listen to Half Hope Hangouts on Sunday nights, but I brought it up there, and I think again, Neymar is similar to Pogba in my opinion, and what I mean by that is that they're both ultra talented players. I mean, just God given talent. I mean, it's unbelievable how good both of them are. At the same time, they're both very immature players mentally, and they can not be bothered for long stretches of seasons. And it's really all about themselves. The goal that United gave up against Everton was all Pogba doing too much. The whole run up for the penalty. It's too much of this. Look at me, I'm a great player. We know you're a great player, but let me see your mental. Same with Neymar. And I think it's a shame that the world of football hyped PSG to such a level with Thomas Tuchel as their manager. Please, at the end of the day, Thomas Tuchel is a German football enthusiast. I said that. He's not a manager. He's a guy that just sits back and says, "Oh, I got all these great players. Make it happen. I don't got to do much." I mean, it's just not. That's not a manager. That's not a manager. So, again, Neymar and Pogba should be players that we're talking about every year. It's every weekend of football, as if the guys that are taking the mantle, if you will, from Cristiano and Messi. Assuming that most people think those are the two best players right now. So, but we're not because they're not there. They're not there mentally. They're not applying themselves enough. So It is what it is. We'll see what happens. But Neymar to Madrid, I think it could be good, but they need a bit more than that. I mean, they're getting old, man. They're getting old, and the way they look against Barcelona was atrocious without Messi. That's bad. Marlon, some people say we should go for Aaron Ramsey. I say no, we shouldn't. Um, Epic says why? Why to what? Who are you responding to? I wouldn't mind Ramsey again for free. He looks gone from Arsenal though. I mean, he doesn't really look a part of that team. Like, I don't know if Unai Emery doesn't rate him. I don't know if he's not doing well in training. I don't know if there's been some bust up in training. Whatever the case may be, looks like Ramsey is on his way out. So we'll see. He came in the game against Palace, I think, and almost scored at the end. And it seems like lately when he's been playing, he's been a part of everything they do good as far as in the final third. So getting another Arsenal player for the cheap, it almost will make me feel good just because we're getting from a rival, and that'll be another player that players didn't really. I don't know how Arsenal's fan base really feel about Aaron Ramsey. I know how they feel about Ox, and I think it was pretty split. At the end of the day, it seemed like they were fine to let him go because in their mind he was never really consistent with them, and that's probably accurate. And then he comes to Liverpool and does amazing. So again, under Klopp, I would trust just about any player to come to Liverpool and depending on how young they are, maybe turn their career around, maybe really finally maybe realize some gifts that they have, and just kind of enjoy the football and let that shine. So, let's see what we got here. I think Klopp will let him go if he wants to. I doubt Klopp expected Salah to be a goal machine. Came as a surprise. Klopp has always had his eye on that American kid. Yeah, and that's another guy to me that's overrated. Um, the guy at Dortmund, I can't even think of his name right now. I'm not too bothered by it either. He's another guy that gets so much hype, and all Liverpool fans want him for reasons that I understand. But I think he's overhyped. But that's me. Dortmund's doing really really good right now. I don't know if that's really even because of him. I don't think he played much in their game against Atletico. But again, under Klopp, he could be amazing. Ramsey is also a no for me. Cool, fair enough, fair enough. I take Ramsey all day. Yeah, me too. I mean, but we're split on opinion on that, and that's cool. I think Ramsey could really really help us. Um, more squad depth. So again, under Klopp, personally, I just don't doubt any signing from this. I mean, I haven't doubted him ever, but definitely not now. Yeah, on the free. I mean, it's hard to turn down. I mean, a guy of that caliber, not that he's world class or anything, but on the free, nah. I mean, he'd be getting paid a lot per week for sure, but on the free, it's hard for me to knock that down, man. Have you heard the new Van Dyke song? No, I have not. Klopp only buys players that can virtually walk into the starting 11. I don't know if that's true, but maybe that's an interesting way to think of it. Um, Coming up on an hour here. Thank you guys, all of you. I'm gonna stay on till just about the hour, if not more. We'll see what we're rapping about. Young, pacey left winger priority next season. Yeah, I think so. And then someone asked me on another stream, what are we lacking? And I don't think we're lacking much. Some people would disagree with me and say a 10, another attacking player. It does bother me a lot about the forward guys. Obviously, you could put Shaqiri up there, preferably on the right, I would think. But I don't want to see Lallana playing left winger. I just don't want to see that. And so, it'd be nice to get a guy there. Forwards or number nines, if you imagine. I mean, sometimes Salah's playing number nine, but as far as Firmino's role, besides the PSG game, he's just not good coming off the bench. So, if we're going to be starting a guy, Sturridge is fine. I fancy Sturridge. But just moving forward, I don't know how long Sturridge will be there. I don't know if a contract will be extended to him. But beyond that, to me, there's not much. So left back, and then maybe another attacking player is what I would say, personally. So it does look good on Virgin van Dijk. I think we all kind of saw that coming at some point. Henderson obviously is still the captain. Milner is still the vice captain. So Virgil van Dijk is the vice captain, and then Gini's the vice captain. I don't know if it's necessary, but I think it's kind of cool. Klopp usually would go with just the guy who's been there the longest. Would have probably been Gomez, which I wouldn't have mind. Gomez or Sturridge, I guess, but Sturridge isn't starting enough. But yeah, so I don't mind it. I think it's kind of nice to see Genie get the vice, or whatever it's called. Captain. He's been the best midfielder this year. I think to see him get a bit of recognition, especially from his teammates, that's really big. So I was proud of that for him. I'm proud of him for that, I should say. Marlon, Wenger never gave Ox a chance. He kept playing Walcott. Ox is better than Walcott. I agree with that. This should be Hendo's last season as captain. Yeah, probably a lot of people agree with you. Who else is a bit tired of "You'll Never Walk Alone" at the start of every game? I don't know. Anybody can ever get tired of that, Jason. I love hearing that. I mean, what would you like just another new song altogether? Would you want to hear something different? I'm glad we don't hear the Gerard song much more. That was what I was tired of hearing. But yeah, I don't know if I can ever get tired of "You Never Walk Alone," man. That's yeah, especially at the beginning of the game. I mean, it's our anthem. All teams have it. Well, most teams do. It's Bubbles for West Ham. It's the song that Palace sing when they come out. I mean, everybody's got it. I like "You Never Walk Alone." Yeah, I agree, Nova. I don't know if I can get tired of that. We don't need Ramsey. Yeah, I wouldn't even say as much of it. It's not. It's definitely not a need, but I think it wouldn't hurt us. And I think it can help us in the long run. Dortmund winger Jason Larson looked like good prospect for Liverpool. Yeah, a lot of guys at Dortmund look like good prospects, but I just don't see us doing much business with them. I can see Klopp going in to do business with other guys in Germany. Um, Third, almost fourth season in, the idea or the fact that he hasn't gotten anyone from Dortmund, to me says a lot. Or maybe it doesn't, but I don't see us getting many players from Dortmund. That's just me. But again, we shall see. I get goosebumps at big games. Yeah, with Milner and potentially Lallana going, the board would want a British player to come in. Probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love hearing that. I don't know if I'd say goosebumps necessarily. I think I'd probably get goosebumps if I was actually at Anfield for a game and heard it. But I definitely love hearing it. I like the song. I like to hear the fans singing it in unison. I like the instrumentation you can hear in the background of the song. I don't know. I just think it's a good song, but and a nice way to kind of welcome the players on the pitch, and the players hear the song just like we do, and I think it has a huge effect on them, and obviously "You Never Walk Alone" has got some serious meaning to it, and so yeah, I don't know if I could ever get tired of it necessarily, but it's possible. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I'll be back later in the week to talk more about Arsenal Liverpool. Big match coming up. Hopefully, be able to get some Arsenal fans, one or two on. Hopefully, one of them is A1 from the Hangouts, and then another guy I had on to talk about some other topics as well. But yeah, looking forward to that. How about rumors to Liverpool? I haven't seen enough of him. Is he at Hoffenheim or some blue team in Germany? Right, I forget who it is. I haven't seen enough of him to really say. What I have seen, I haven't been that impressed. But again, I keep saying it. Under Liverpool, so many guys can do well. So the Red Sox have won their fourth World Series in 15 years. FSG needs to replicate that success for you. Yeah, yeah, I can't disagree with that. I forgot that was even over. They demolished the Dodgers of LA. But yeah, Jason, I prefer "You Never Walk Alone" in the tunnel. Ah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's Hoffenheim. Yeah, I mean, I don't. He wouldn't be on my list, but neither was Shakiri, and we see what he's doing. So, um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Gonna sleep now. It's late out there in Johannesburg. All right, brother. Peace to you too. But yeah, it's getting a little late here too. I'm gonna chill out with the fam. It's one of the longest lives ever. But again, as I always say, man, appreciate all of you, man. Seriously, this means a lot, especially being late in some of the areas that you guys are coming on. Really appreciate it. Uh, and yeah, just feel very blessed to have people who actually will spend their time on the channel with us, leaving comments, interacting. So big up all yourselves, and we'll see you soon later this week. Enjoy your week, and see you sooner than later. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.